It's very interesting looking back at the history of the Warneford Hospital and how nearly 200 years ago Samuel Warneford and his friends developed a site for the better treatment of people with mental illness up here in Headington, and a lot of the land that now is used for health and life sciences research comes from that initiative back in that time. The reason we want to develop this master plan today is to get a clear vision for what the future of the site is going to be over the next 50 to 100 years. And central to that is the almost unique opportunity we've got for the collaboration between clinical services and academic research into better, more effective treatments for mental illness. We've got a fantastic base for that in the Medical Sciences Division of the University of Oxford, in our Academic Health Sciences Centre, which also involves Oxford Brookes University and our colleagues at Oxford University Hospitals, and most recently, of course, the award of only the second biomedical research centre for mental health in the country. And we know that these things work best where you've got a site that brings together clinicians and researchers and patients and carers, and they can mingle together and bounce ideas around, and that's when really special things happen. There are very few places in the world that can do that, and of course we're so close to the basic sciences on the Old Road campus next to the Churchill Hospital, 2 minutes walk away, that there's the sort of infrastructure to underpin that work. And so our thinking behind the master plan is how can we create something that will be a truly outstanding centre internationally for the treatment of mental illness and for identifying and developing the best possible treatments for people. Of course, it's a very lovely site, and the buildings we use are historic and listed, but I think we're probably now the only part of the NHS that is using buildings that date from the reign of George IV for clinical services. And whilst we've put a lot of money into adapting them and bringing them up to a basic standard over the years, there comes a point where you simply can't do any more within the constraints of that estate. So we need to build new clinical facilities on this site, and there's an opportunity here to build something that is really cutting edge, that matches the kind of spirit of the academic endeavour here, and that provides proper 21st century care for people with mental illness in Oxfordshire. Having said that, we want to preserve all the appealing aspects of the site, and so part of the master plan is keeping the magnificent approaches, keeping the Warneford Meadow as a place that can bring together what happens on the site with the local community and the neighbouring hospitals, and indeed preserving and enhancing the historic buildings to create a truly stunning new building which can serve as a conference centre, as a centre where the community can use and share, and opening up the heart of the site so that it's part of one of the kind of green routes through Oxford, which we hope will help open up mental health care, mental health research to the wider world, so that people can become engaged in it, interested in it. We can reach out to local schools, we can encourage young scientists, and we can take away some of the stigma that's associated with mental health care by doing that, whilst at the same time making the most of the lovely buildings that we've got and the site that we've got, but putting them in a position where we'll be handing something even better on to the next generation. Because one of the sort of guiding principles of this master plan is about opening the site up to the wider world and engaging the local community, part of the consultation exercise that we're embarking upon now is to engage people in that. I mean, we're interested in people's views about how we develop the site. There are, of course, formal planning processes that we'd be involved with anyway, but we're actually looking for more than that. We want people to be excited about this like we are. We want people to be engaged. We want their ideas about how we might make the best of this opportunity. We're also looking at this as an opportunity for major fundraising, and we've got the support of the University of Oxford in progressing that. This, in a way, is a kind of prospectus, and we think that will be much, much stronger if it's something that we've had an opportunity to engage local people with, and people have been able to bring their ideas to bear about what we might create here that's going to be truly outstanding, and something that people will look to from around the world.